Guys, it's Pam with Perfectly Holistic. Here's is my little precious Lily, and we're going to talk about cats with kidney disease today. There's a lot of things that you can do naturally and holistically to support them so they can have a really long, healthy life, despite the fact that they may have compromised kidneys. So I'm going to talk to you about 5 ways that you can provide holistic support for your cat. So a lot of these tips were given to me by infamous Dr. Ruth Roberts, who's an amazing holistic veterinarian. And one of the first things that she recommends is really looking at improving your cat's nutrition. So make sure you're feeding your cat a species appropriate diet. That means no dry food, but think about cats in the wild. They eat meat, they eat very little to no carbohydrate. They get their moisture from their food. So if feeding a raw diet is really not what you're able to do, at least make sure you're feeding a wet diet. So high quality protein that's very bioavailable, it's easy to break down and digest, and it's easy on the kidneys. Some cats do better on cooked food rather than raw food. The second thing that you can do is increase their water. So one of the ways you can do that is by adding water to their food, and then find ways to help them want to drink more. So if that's a pet fountain, or if that is the place where you have their water bowl. But remember, cats have a low thirst drive. So by nature, they're not going to want to drink a lot of water. So that's why it's really important that they get the majority of their hydration through their food. The third thing that you can do is decrease inflammation. And you can do this in a variety of ways, but number one, let's go back to the food. Let's eliminate the carbohydrates. So when you're looking at cat food, even wet food, just look at the label and see if there's a lot of carbohydrates in there. That would be things like rice and wheat, potatoes, grains and things like that. If your food has those kind of ingredients prevalently on the label, then it's going to be higher in carbohydrates, and those create inflammation. So eating a wet diet is really another good reason why, or it's a way to really prevent having carbohydrates in your cat's food. The second thing that you can do is using omega-3s, so adding 25 to 50 milligrams per pound daily really helps decrease inflammation. You can also use supplements like quercetin and rhubarb root to help reduce inflammation in the body. And then finally, reducing stress, because when your stress levels are raised, your cortisol hormone is also raised, and this creates inflammation. The fourth thing that you can do to provide holistic support for your cat with kidney disease is improving kidney function. And you can do these by using those supplements like the rhubarb root, like the quercetin, but there's also some really good herbal kidney support products on the market. RX Vitamins has one called RX Renal Feline. Pet Wellbeing has one called Kidney Support Gold. So these are things that you can add to your cat's food to provide some additional support for the kidneys. You can also use a phosphorus binder. So if your cat's phosphorus levels are really high on their blood work, ask your vet about adding a phosphorus binder to their food. This can be very important because you want to provide a high quality, high protein diet for cats, not a reduced protein diet. And in order to control the amount of phosphorus that might be in that food, we can pull it out using a phosphorus binder when they're eating, so it's pulled out through the digestive tract instead of having to run through the kidneys, through the blood. So ask about a phosphorus binder if your cat's phosphorus levels are elevated. The other thing that you can do is make sure you control blood pressure. So you might need to go in and just have your cat's blood pressure checked every now and then. Fluid therapy can be really good also for improving kidney function. So if it's indicated, even just once or twice a week, sub-Q fluids can be really helpful. And then there's also stem cell therapy for cats, for kidneys. So that might be an option that you can look into as well. And then finally, improving the gut health is very important. So adding things like the real food that we talked about that's highly digestible really helps improve the quality of their nutrition, and therefore improves their overall gut health. And then make sure it's a little higher in fiber, perhaps, if that's necessary. You can add probiotics and other kinds of nutraceuticals that really promote really good gut health. And then finally, I would recommend really avoiding the toxins, avoiding over-vaccination, unnecessary vaccines, avoiding flea and tick products that are very toxic, because these things can hurt the immune system, which over 70% of which is in the gut. So you protect the body, protect the immune system, and this will help keep the gut healthier. So I hope this has been helpful for you. If you have questions, feel free to reach out. And Lily and I thank you for watching.